Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host, the Hut, and we are back here at the Baseball Hut too. I need you to subscribe and like this video. We're talking more about some rumors. It's been very quiet, I gotta say, very quiet trade deadline so far. I know we're, was it the 22nd? We got another week and a half. Very quiet, I gotta say. It's the usual kind of suspects, to be honest with you. So, but we'll get into it here. So here we go from Bleacher Report. MLB Trade Rumors. Funny I should say that. Juan Soto not available. Padres likely to shop Josh Hader and Blake Snell. Barring an incredible turnaround over the next week, San Diego Padres are more likely than not going to be sellers at this year's MLB trade deadline on August 1st. The organization has incredibly underachieved over the first half of the season despite coming off a run to the NLCS in 2022 and returning one of the most talented rosters in the entire league. However, it appears the Padres are unwilling to give up superstar outfielder Juan Soto, according to USA Today's Bob Nightingale. I would assume that the Padres want to re-sign him. He's only 25 years old. People are 24 years old. He's very young still. He's got another year on his contract. Obviously, they gave up a lot of talent last year in that big blockbuster trade with the Nationals, and they're not ready to say goodbye. And he is a great player. He's got the chance, not to jinx him. He's got a chance to go to the Hall of Fame. I mean, that's how great of a hitter he is. When people talk about him, they talk about Ted Williams in terms of the way his approach is at the plate. There, quote, there has been no hint that he's available, Nightingale reported. Instead, they are much more likely to shop closer Josh Hader and starter Blake Snell. Now, those two guys in particular are free agents. And Hader's been traded. He was traded in that other blockbuster the Padres made last year with the Brewers. And Blake Snell was also acquired in a big trade prior to last season, or the season before, with the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, they both performed well for the Padres this year, and well, not so much last year with Hader. Hader was terrible last year. But they both pitched very well this year, and even though the team has stunk. At 48-52, San Diego sits in 4th place in the NL West, 10.5 games back of the first place Los Angeles Dodgers. It is also pretty far out of the wild card race, 6 games out of one of 3 slots. Now, I've mentioned this about the New York Mets as well. You got to get the 500. That is the most important thing. If you're a team behind chasing one of these wild cards, you got to have a winning record, or at least be 500. It's very important. Can't emphasize that enough. I think you all know that. I know that. And it doesn't look like a turnaround is very likely with the Padres going 5-5 over the last 10 games. They did just a decent series. They did just have a decent series win over the middling Detroit Tigers. Worse than middling. The Tigers stink. They're terrible. It would make plenty of sense for the franchise to trade Soto and get some return on their large investment from last season. But it's understandable why they are hesitant on trading the 24-year outfield. Well, yeah, he's 24 years old. Soto was the big coup of last year's trade deadline, being acquired by San Diego along with Josh Bell from Washington in exchange for a ridiculous haul of C.J. Abrams, Mackenzie Gore, Robert Hassel, James Wood, Jarlin Susana, and Luke Voigt. Now, Voigt is now in the Mets organization in the minor leagues, but he was a throw-in. Having Soto in the team controlled through 2024 with a roster that's still capable of contention, despite a bad season, is more than enough motivation to keep him around. As for Hader and Snell, both have been key parts of the Padres pitching staff this season, but are each set to hit free agency in the winter. Hader, a 3-time NL reliever of the year, is in the middle of another sensational campaign with 24 saves with a 0.97 ERA in 39 games. Snell has also had a bounce-back season after a rough couple of years. The 2018 AL Cy Young Award winner has a 6-8 record of 2.67 ERA in 20 starts. Both players will likely be highly sought after at the trade deadline. I think a ton of teams are going to be looking at these guys. I would think the Rangers, the Astros, possibly the Yankees, if the Yankees can find themselves together. I don't know if the Padres would trade any of these guys to the Dodgers. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt they would trade them to the Giants. Now, like I said, we're like about less than 10 days away from the trade deadline, and teams are focusing in on what they need now that we're getting closer. Last year was a huge year. Really, the last 2 years we've had some massive trades. Juan Soto got traded. Max Scherzer got traded 2 years ago. Had a lot of big names get moved in the last 2 years. Now I'm going to get through this video. I'm going to go through this video. This is from the BleacherReport.com. The Astros would love to get Dylan Cease. Well, wouldn't everybody else, you know? The defending champion Houston Astros are hoping to get another chance in the postseason. However, they still trail the Texas Rangers in the AL West, and there are no locks to win a heated wildcard race. Injuries have been an issue for Houston, though the team appears to be trending in a positive direction. Jose Altuve, the Munchkin, the smallest... Oh, actually, Ken Rosenthal's the Munchkin. Jose Altuve, the smallest man in the world, resumed batting practice this week. And Yordan Alvarez could be... He's a short guy, by the way, Altuve. Even his name sounds short. Altuve. He sounds like a short guy's name. No offense. And Yordan Alvarez could be back as early as Monday. While a healthier lineup would aid the Astros offensively, the front office is reportedly considering ways to bolster the pitching staff. Last Sunday, USA Today's Bob Nightingale reported that Houston had checked in on the Chicago Cubs pitcher, Marcus Stroman. I would say also they should probably check in with the New York Mets for a couple of guys. A few guys. Jose Quintana they should probably ask about, and he would help them at the back end. Maybe reunite with Justin Verlander. I don't think they would have a problem with that. The Mets would have to take most of that money. And, of course, Max Scherzer. However, the Astros may be more keen to land another pitcher from the Windy City. Appearing in MLB Network's Inside Corner, John Heyman of the New York Post reported that the Astros would love to land Chicago White Sox ace Dylan Cease. Of course, Heyman noted that several teams would love to get Cease and that cease and desist would not trade him. And Chicago isn't coming off the 27-year-old cheaply. Close to untouchable, Heyman said, so they'd have to pay a big price to add him. Heyman also knows that the Astros are looking at Stroman, though he appears to be a plan B behind Cease. Heyman called Cease Houston's dream acquisition. If Stroman is available, the Rays could be buyers. Interesting. While the Cubs aren't completely out of the playoff race, they're a distant third in the NL Central and probably should be motivated to sell at the deadline. According to the Athletics, Sharma, can't say his first name, scouts seem split as to whether Marcus Stroman or Cody Bellinger, arguably the two best players who are seen as likely to get traded, would fetch more for the Cubs. Stroman, who is 10-7, might interest the Rays if he's ultimately the player Chicago is eager to move. According to Sharma, Tampa has been focused on its pitching, as have teams like the Arizona Diamondbacks and Texas Rangers. Again, keep an eye on the New York Met pitchers that could be available. Those three I mentioned. The Rays have been holding steady at or near the top of the AL East, so a win-now move like dealing for Stroman would be logical. The question is whether Tampa could make an enticing offer without significantly altering its lineup. Any move that the Rays make, they're sneaky. And some team will think they're getting something good for Stroman or any pitcher. You ain't getting anything good, because they don't trade anybody good. They trade guys that they think that they're shot. MLB Network's John Morosi recently called infielder Jonathan Aranda the trade candidate we're not talking about enough. Aranda was recently optioned to AAA Durham, has made a couple of appearances for the Rays, but hasn't gotten much major league run because Tampa already has a strong infield lineup. There's a chance that Aranda's call-ups have been an effort to showcase him to other teams. Aranda came into Saturday batting .343 with 95 hits and 17 home runs for Durham. Interesting. And here again, we'll talk about the San Francisco Giants. Have their eyes on the Justin Verlander. Pitchers seem to be drawing the most interest ahead of the deadline, and New York Mets standout Justin Verlander has begun to create some buzz as well. According to Morosi, the San Francisco Giants are among the teams evaluating the 3-time Cy Young Award winner. Adding Verlander would be a huge move by the Giants, who are only a handful of games out of first in the NL West. Now, I would mention about the Giants. They have money to spend. They have money to spend. They don't have a and I would mention, they do not have a very deep farm system. However, they have 2 very good lefties in their farm. Their number 1 prospect, who is Kyle Harrison, and another lefty, who I just wrote his name down. There's another lefty, I think he's the 4th best prospect that the Giants have. If the Mets were to move Verlander, they should eye one of them. And maybe they'd be enticed to take something else. And again, the Mets might not need to sort of put all the money, take all the money from their pocket and give it to the Giants. Just to use Verlander as an example. It could be Scherzer. But you let me know what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut 2. We have more rumors and hopefully get some trades around here. Keep an eye on the shorts. I'll post any kind of like quote-unquote minor trades, quote-unquote, in the shorts. Like I did the other day with the pitcher that went from Oakland to Baltimore. So thank you for watching. Thank you again, and I'll see you later.